All right, this is Whispers in the Dark with Renee, part 2. Now we ended our previous session with my excited exclamation about it's time to talk about the Earth simulator. We're in my holographic universe, people. Aren't you strolling around on YouTube looking for information? Well, here I am in the dark, ready to talk to you. Just come on by and let's chat it up. So, you know, I'm said this before on other videos, but you may not have seen me before. So let's just do this. All right, I really need to get the cigarette started, but all right, let's just do this. So, we are vessels, and we believe we have a soul, but we really are surrounded by this essence that moves our body and works with our organs, with our systems, and all these things that we never really think about. Things that we are programmed to do, which is work, 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 and provide for the control system and so on and so forth. We're not going to go into that because some people think that's more conspiracy, but let's just focus on the earth part. So the earth as a simulator is the earth is not what we think it is. And it is very important that we understand that it's not what we think it is. Because how are we going to make changes in our thinking and our living if we're thinking and living a lie? Now, it's no one's fault, okay? We're brought up to believe certain things because the system wants us to believe certain things. That's okay. I get it. I spent most of my life believing certain things. And then one day I opened my eyes and realized there's more to life than there to be. Okay? So, thing is, we all know this. We know this in our deepest, innermost being because we are the creators of our universe in so many ways. At the heart of it, we are one version says we're a spark of the source, we're a spark of God. So, therefore, everything that is source is also us. We just happen to be a part of it. We're a part of it, and we're also all of it at the same time. It's like taking a piece of clay, and you have a clay ball. You have all of the clay ball, but for some reason you want to share this ball, so maybe you peel it in half and peel it in half and peel it in half and eat the halves in half. And anyway, as the point is, each piece of clay is always going to be a piece of clay complete. Okay? So we're source complete, but we're a part of it. And as a whole, we are it. Source is us and we are source. So if you put that together with the fact, well, that just shows that we know as much as we can recall from source. And the only reason we're not recalling it better or more is we're kept busy with distractions of life, simply living day to day, scraping and scrounging for money, and then using the money to pay for things we need and things we want and things we do and places we go and family and this and that and the other. And all that takes energy away from stopping and breathing and thinking. That's the only reason we don't know. It's not really complicated, actually. So, but the Earth simulator itself is a bit complicated. Again, only because we're just not taught. And if we teach ourselves, we probably learn better, but we have to know to do that. Okay, so my journey to some of these realizations started when I got more curious than I usually am, and I'm fairly curious, generally speaking, anyway. But I was watching a video, and it was called Zeitgeist. Okay. Now, I'm not saying everything in the video was true because, again, even with memory, it's going to be subjective. Okay. But things stuck out to me at the time. Okay, guys, if you come by, say hi, ask questions. Excuse me. So, watching this video, and it's saying things that I'd never heard before. And I thought, oh, well, you know what? That's cool. I'm going to look it up. So I took out my trusty encyclopedia. You remember those things? They're books. Yeah, we had some older ones on the shelf, and so I took it out, started making notes about some of the things I'd seen, and I got to say I was a little disappointed because things that I believed were were a little off, and so I noticed that and did more research. Ended up back online, and I'm not gonna go in specifics into exactly what I found because I think that that'll distract from the point. Okay, but the point is that I went on a hunt, and I'm still searching, but I'm learning. Some things I keep over time, and some things I throw away, and that's just the way that I discover things. So I think one of the first things I discovered was about meditation. Um, how you can be still, and you can be so still, and things happen. Like it's like sparks. It's funny. The first time that I did it, I said this recently in another video, but the first time I did it, I just got really still. And, you just kind of let go of the thinking that your mind, um, I should tell you this, your mind, different parts of it are created for different reasons, obviously, but there is the main part of it, the part that's very busy telling you things and etc. is actually a survival mode. It's protecting you. Don't do this, don't go there, don't say this, don't do that, or whatever. It's trying to protect you. And of course, it's really just energy, but it's like it's relaying these things about being safe, and it all comes from habit over your lifetime. Your parents tell you don't walk in the street or look, at least look both ways, and all these things that you've learned. It's just an accumulation of things that you've learned in your life, and so what it does is it takes the information and it relays it against what you're involved in and what you're doing, and it just it relays it back to you. Do you remember when this happened? Do you remember when that happened? And all these things, it's really you thinking it, but it comes across as being kind of outside of you, but it's really not. So anyway, as far as the simulator goes, so like we were, like I say, we're source, and we're sparks of source, and so we're in life. Life is us, and we're life, and so at some point in time, do I start at the beginning? So at some point in time, um, this opportunity comes, and maybe someone has said to us, or there's a way that we're introduced into the idea of being in a body, or having a vehicle outside of our essence, which is maybe formless, and it's not able to touch and do and go into physical matter. So we have this opportunity to come and be an adventurer and to visit this wonderful this simulator where you can go and touch and be and have more closeness with other beings that you actually already know because they are part of you and they are you, and things like that we don't remember when we get here, but we have this opportunity to come into this wonderful simulator world and have adventures. And the thing is, a few things, but when we get here as a baby, we start learning these things that Earth people learn. People in simulators learn, like, we learn how to talk and how to walk, and I find it very discomforting that babies aren't allowed to be babies anymore, if they ever were allowed, because as soon as they start moving around too much, we got to make sure they learn to walk, and we got to make sure they learn to talk, and that's all great and good, but when do they get a chance to cry and be a baby, and just enjoy the feeling of being a baby? And I think that's something that we're really missing. We're rushing them to talk and move and run, and maybe that's not what I'm thinking, but I'm just saying it would be nice if babies had a chance to grow up a little slower than they do these days. But anyway, so we come into this form, and where this form is created to go from small to big, and so as our body gets bigger, you know how it works. Um, but along the way, we're learning things from our environment and people that we run into, and TV and our parents and everything. And so basically, we're indoctrinated into the Earth simulator. And sometimes we don't have time to be quiet and still, and get to know who we really are. As now that we're here on this simulator, we're suddenly pushed into this world of go, 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 do, earn, learn, earn, and learn, and go and do, and have sports, and meet people, and get married, and have babies, and do it all over again. And it's like, uh, we kind of lost the idea of coming here for fun. So here we are. Now, there's a reason why, of course. The reason we don't have this time to be babies and to have fun, and to grow up and just be, is that there's manipulation that has happened at some point in time. And I'm not really sure about when it happened, but it did happen. Okay. I mean, you meet people sometimes, and they have the innocence about them, and they're very open and friendly, and they're very in tune with nature, and they're very calm and different than people you meet at work or on the street or at a bar or wherever you are. And you're just kind of like, wow, they're foreign, where are they from? But in reality, they're more close to the way we should be, you know um more relaxed, more laid back. So so the simulator can obviously have different effects on people based on a lot of things: where you were raised, who raised you, of course, but also your environment after that. So much drama here in the simulator, just so much unnecessary drama. People killing people is highly unnecessary. There's no respect for what a person, a good thing that a person might want to do. But anyway, so the simulator, as I'm trying to say, is like, it's a world within a world. It's like our world is within our life itself. So when you come and you're in it, we're not taught to realize that it's not all there is, and certainly not the first time that you've been here. So let's just get over that right now. The reincarnation system is part of the manipulation, because the simulator has its system outside of life. It's like a whole separate system. So, like, if you've heard the law of attraction, you probably have now, if you've been around a while. So you would know that it's what people believe to be a way to, well, we believe it to be a way to manipulate the system in our favor. In reality, it's part of the system. I mean, it is a way to manipulate reality, but it's only the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of ways you could probably do it. And that's how we got into this situation, because someone else knew higher ways to do it on a higher level, So much so that they created this little simulator for us to play in, but not to play, but to be energy for them and to be food for them and to just come in here instead of having adventures and fun. We come to work and give them energy. That's where the manipulation comes from. And, I guess the overall theory behind that is that the reptilians did it, um, and that it's their kind of playground. Um, but it is a system outside of our original system. I shouldn't say outside. It's inside our original system. And I met up with some people who have found a way to get through this system and not have to come back and be energy food for the manipulators. And that's pretty awesome. And so this is Whispers in the Dark with Renee. Just a reminder in case you're just passing by. Right now, we're talking about the Earth simulator. And we're just getting to start and maybe go in for a few minutes and consider the reasons why it's a simulator and how it's not really life that we actually came from. All right, these manipulators have somehow used the actually used the system that we have to go kind of above us and push us down. Okay, from the start of it, apparently. So some people say it's the Anunnaki that did it. They created us to begin with, which now I don't want to go too far on this track because I'm not totally clear on why they would create us and then put us in here to torture us basically. That doesn't make sense, right? Um but there in a way it kind of is what happened. But again, since I'm not totally clear, I don't really want to go that direction so much as to say, let's just tell you how you can get out of it. Okay, so there have been a lot of ways that we could connect to our original self over the years. One of them, I suppose, was the ohms. When people used to say ohm, they were connecting with their original selves. I guess someone said at one time the Amen could have been used for that purpose too. No longer are they useful, the Amens or the Ohms or the Hare Krishnas, I suppose. But now there's a new sound, I've been told, and I've started to use it off and on. And you just use it before bed. Um, and it's called the new you sound. New you. Now I discovered this sound when I was researching this book that I was reading about psychology, but it ended up being about magic, which is really interesting. Okay. So, that took me on an interesting turn. Some of the things in that book were they're very interesting and very real. Reminded me a lot of the show The Magicians and how they use their hands to work energy. And this is like the book is telling how they do that. And I'm just like, whoa, it's a psychology book. And I'm like, I was really surprised. So to I went from there to looking up toning, which I'd never heard of, but I was looking up chakras. And anyway, there's a way you can balance your chakras by using tones. Or, remember this, A, E, I, O, U, the vowel sounds. Um, they're connected to what we believe are our chakras, which is actually something else. But anyway, the whole point is that in my research of the book and the chakras, I found something called chakra toning. And I just started kind of using that a little bit. And then I ran into the new you sound. And someone asked on one of the videos about, wait, can you use the new you to tone your chakras? And I was like, oh, get out of here. Like it just circular connected it. I was like, wow, because the NU and the U's are all part of the chakra sounds. And so that's how I discovered this new presentation I discovered it from that angle, which is like a whole different angle. The angle that you would think that I discovered it at would have been the dreams, which is going to be the next video, because it talks about how, get this, your dreams are real. And yes, this is Whispers in the Dark with Renee. We'll be back and talk about